Starting stream, refreshing it.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
All right, we are live. We're live finally after all that technical difficulty. We're live. So thank you, everybody. What?
What?
You're fucking kidding me? You know what? Fuck OBS. This thing is a piece of shit. All right, so what I'm going to do is get started on this podcast while this thing is being stupid. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. Tonight, we are doing a special last-minute decision show, whatever you want to call it, of the Shit Show podcast. We're doing it live on Twitch. We've got our special guest, KristofasaurusRex, in tonight.
Yo.
So I'm going to give him the floor here in just a second so he can introduce himself for those of you that do not know him. For those of you that may not be familiar with him, it'll give you an opportunity to do so, to meet him. But yes, we are in for a special treat tonight. For those of you that are new here, thank you for tuning in. If you're fresh to the show, my name's Dan, aka Redbeard. I am a variety content creator over on Twitch. I stream sometimes here on YouTube. I make really shitty YouTube videos. Sometimes we do these broadcasts or these podcasts live, so that's what's going on tonight. So I'm sure if you're listening to this on Spotify or Anchor later, it's an interesting introduction, different than the last couple of uploads I've done. But yes, so we've got a fun list of topics tonight. We'll dive into those in just a second. But I do want to just take a moment and say this month we are grinding out some streams over on Twitch for St. Jude. So if you guys are interested or want to support that cause, you guys can catch me over on Twitch. I'm also going to work on getting the link, and I'll put it in the stream chat as well here on YouTube whenever I give Chris the mic, and I'll post it in there. So if you guys want to donate to that cause, you guys can still donate to the campaign. But without further ado, though, I'm going to let our man Chris take over the mic for just a second while I get this, and then we'll dive right into some discussion. So go ahead, brother.
Yeet. First off, Zach, I'm going to need you to start breathing again. Don't pass out, buddy. But for anybody who doesn't know, my name is KristofasaurusRex. Me and Dan go way, way back to our times, you know, back when he worked at GameStop and he used to try to take all my money. But
I've
no,
never done such a thing.
No, not you. Never. No.
Well, see, I didn't take any money, but
I mean, technically, yeah. But no, I typically stream on twitch.tv/KristofasaurusRex. It's a mouthful, I know. But yeah, you can go follow me on there. You can also see my dog running around on camera here. My socials, if it's not KristofasaurusRex, it's just Kristofasaurus. So try either one of those, honestly. I mostly just post on Twitter anyways, so. But yeah, I mean that's what I got.
cool. Well, thank you for introducing yourself to everybody. But yeah, you guys should
I also eat ass.
Oh man, but it is funny we've been having all those technical difficulties tonight because literally right before I hit start the stream, I spent like the last 30-40 minutes working on getting everything prepped, everything ready, everything was set up and right, and then of course everything that could go wrong as soon as I hit go live went wrong. Of course,
staying on brand, dog. Shit Show podcast.
yeah, that's true. And then not only that, Audacity for me to be able to audio record this and record the video of it at the same time, that didn't work. So after we do this recording, I have to go through and play the file through my computer to rip the audio from it to put it on Anchor and Spotify and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna have a fun night in store. But another thing before we dive into our topics tonight, after this stream or after this recording, whatever you want to call this, we are going to actually be doing, I will be doing at least a live stream here on YouTube, and it will be more so for you guys that are Patreon supporters. We're going to do a little bit of an AMA, so you guys have the opportunity to, if you guys have any questions or concerns or whatever, or input on topics, you guys can share those ideas or thoughts. Or if you have any questions, you guys can feel free to reach out and ask me whatever those questions may be. And I'm actually going to link you guys right now, the Patreon, if you're interested in supporting that. It's at patreon.com/Redbeard TV. So there it is in chat. But if you guys are wanting to support at any level, you've got access to that there. But so whenever I reached out to Chris today about what we were going to talk about, we were he was like, well, I guess we could talk about whatever, you know. And I was like, well,
I was literally on the way to Martin, Tennessee, which is 2 hours from where. Sorry, I didn't mean to like cut you off
no.
there. But,
yeah, because you were driving.
On the way back. Yeah, I was literally on the way. Well, I wasn't driving, but we were on the way back to my hometown of Martin, and we were going to visit a friend and eat dinner. And like, I didn't have anything planned tonight, and Dan just calls me. He's like, or he texts me. He's like, "Hey, can I call you real quick?" I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And so he calls me and he's like, you want to do a podcast today? And I was like, well, fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah, it went about as smooth so far as the beginning of the stream. That's how great it's gone. But
Hey,
so he was like,
dog.
yeah, and I was like, what are we gonna talk about? And I was like, oh, I've got a topic for you. And the fun thing is about this topic is I actually have a full like 30-minute episode recorded talking about the topic before the results, like the end game of what we're going to talk about, occurred. So it was more of like an in progress thing, and then the next day the like big event happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, dude,
I knew nothing of this topic until he literally said, "This is what we're going to talk about."
Yeah.
So on the 2-hour drive back, while my wife was driving, I was reading about this and like watching videos and shit. And man, I knew nothing of this. Like this totally flew off my radar.
Wild stuff. So, okay, so if you guys are like have been on YouTube for like any amount of time, I'm sure you guys are familiar. You may not have watched a lot of him, but Boogie2988. So if you guys are not aware of who he is, he's the Francis guy is the best way to describe him. He's back in the day, you know, he's a bit bigger, overweight guy, and back in the day, he used to do these skits called Francis, you know, rages at games,
he called himself Fat Francis.
Fat Francis, yeah, and all those videos eventually got demonetized. So he doesn't really do those skits anymore because he just can't really make any money off of them. I mean, as a creator, like, I get it, I understand. It's not something that really upsets me. Like, as somebody that used to watch a lot of his content back in the day, I don't really watch him anymore because I don't like his approach to life with things. He's very negative, and while we all have our days, like, you know, for him to constantly just on a daily basis be so negative, it really wears on a person. So but anyways, so last year in 2020, he he actually got into it with another creator. And do you want to kind of input on that, who that creator is? Because I know you feel a way.
Yeah, well, with the Boogie thing, like, I've literally kind of like what Zach and Jackie said in the chat. That's literally the only content of his that I know is the. Did you drink my Mountain Dew?
Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Let me smell your breath.
Like, that's the only thing that I knew of this guy before today. So, you know, like, I didn't really have a lot to go off on him. And, you know, other than like the stuff that I read, which we'll get into that here in a little bit, but I've been looking at this other character named Frank Hassel, and
More like Frank
what
asshole.
yeah, what a literal piece of human garbage. Like, just I don't want to like divert any kind of attention because I feel like people like that.
Well,
And if you look him up, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I don't like diverting any kind of attention. But
yeah.
just scroll through his Twitter feed,
Yeah.
and you'll see
Yeah, it's pretty
like
toxic.
what
It is
kind
super
of
toxic.
human piece of garbage that he really
Yeah.
is.
And we do want to first and foremost say we do not condone the actions of either of these
Absolutely
people,
not.
specifically
Absolutely
this
not.
person, Frank Hassel, and we do not condone any form of harassment. So do not message, do not reach
Yeah,
out, do
don't.
not start
Yeah,
shit. We do not condone that. So, but
leave everybody be. Just we're here to talk
we're
about the
here to observe and
situation.
talk. But
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. So basically last year, and I'm kind of giving some cliff notes without going super crazy in-depth detail in regards to the initial circumstance, because it's pretty well known. And if you don't, I mean, you can just literally Google like
I mean, I literally, yeah, I read up and watched a bunch of videos in like a matter of an hour,
yeah. So
and
this dude shows up to Boogie's house after Boogie specifically said on multiple like podcasts and videos and stuff like, do not come to my house. Do not come to my house. Do not come here. So proceeds to like go there anyways. And he's wearing like all of his like recording camera stuff.
he's like an asshole. He's got like the fucking GoPro, like just like electrical tape to his fucking
Yeah.
head. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Looking like an idiot. But I mean, I guess for his type of content, which is literally harassing people, that's one thing. I'm not sure how he gets away with it, because it's literally harassing people. Like his pinned tweet is a trailer for like some video that he made. I think it launched like 420. And it was him going into like Walmart and stuff and walking up to random people and accusing them of like trying to meet minors and stuff like that. Like just harassing the most random people.
Yeah,
For like
it's
no reason at all. And I'm like, what a fucking scumbag. Like, anyway, so he goes to Boogie's house. Boogie then proceeds to like answer the door finally, like after probably like 10 or 15 minutes, but he answers the door with a gun, and it's a revolver. I can't remember what it was. Did you see what it was?
Oh, I just saw that it was a revolver. I don't know like what kind of specific it was.
Let's see. Let's
But
Google.
while you're looking that up, like this man literally like, because I don't know if you watched the Keemstar interview. Did you watch that?
With Frank.
Yeah, with where he had Boogie and Frank on at the same time.
Oh no, I actually didn't get a chance to watch that one yet.
Dude, I recommend it because I don't know, dude. So basically, like Frank had been harassing this guy. Frank had been harassing Boogie for months.
Yes,
because
he did.
The supposed beef is Frank thinks that Boogie got his YouTube channel banned and his subreddit banned. So he's holding some kind of beef towards Boogie. Well, of course, Frank, just being Frank, he's an internet edgelord. He's honestly like one of the main things that's wrong with the digital era nowadays. And he just like went on and on for months, just bullying and harassing this man online. And that's when he like finally, I don't know why, he claims in the Keemstar interview, he claims that he went to Boogie's town to visit friends. But I mean, let's be honest, do we really believe that? And he tweeted out a picture at Boogie tagging him saying, "I'm in your town, pussy." Basically, like standing there looking like a hard ass.
Yeah.
And so in the interview, Boogie and Frank are just going at it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Boogie
yeah,
says multiple times, if you come to my house, I will end you. I will put you in a body bag.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he says that multiple times, and it gets super heated. I recommend watching it if you want to be more informed on,
On the
like I said,
situation, yeah.
kind of like what Dan said. We're, just kind of giving like Cliff Notes version, but yeah, it got wild. And then literally the day after that interview is when Frank went over to
Yeah,
his
he like
house.
showed up to his house.
He
I knew it
showed
was
up.
after like a
Yeah,
discussion like that.
he showed up, and of course, just screaming all kinds of derogatory terms through the
Mm,
door, telling him to bring the gun and literally open fire on him. So, like,
yeah,
it's just
it's freaking
it's
insane,
wild.
man. Like and so when he answered the door, like he was like telling him like to leave and stuff, leave, go
He told him,
away.
he literally he was holding the gun. He said, "Don't make me do this. Please
Hmm.
don't make me do this." Like, he didn't want to harm the guy. He
Yeah.
really didn't.
I
But,
yeah. And I I didn't really think that he was gonna like shoot. I just thought it was
yeah.
more of like a look, I'm gonna, scare you off basically.
Yeah, he was using it as a deterrent. Like,
Yeah. And I really think
that's
he
all it
was
was, I
trying
feel.
I think he was actually trying to get him to leave without, harming or doing anything that would be
Yeah.
considered harming. And the thing was is what's getting him into trouble. So for those that don't know, there was actually a warrant out for his arrest. That's what I was actually making my last episode I was recording. When I was recording it, was discussing about that. I was trying to like talk about how he had a warrant for his arrest, and then there was like a bond, like basically it was like going to be a $5,000 bail bond for him to be able to get out and stuff like that. It was really wild and crazy. And the thing to me that's just blows my mind is the Frank Castle guy. There's no form of consequences for his actions. Like he's
And
just,
that's fucking oh, dude,
you
it
know,
boils my fucking blood.
I don't with this from okay, so a lot of people are saying like Boogie doesn't deserve jail time. And here's my thing is like I don't want to say he does. I don't want to say that he doesn't deserve jail time. And I don't want to say that he does deserve jail time because here's the thing, there's a lot of factors. Where he lived at the time of this happening, which I don't know if he still lives there, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But apparently it's near a school zone. He was in a neighborhood, not like out in the country somewhere.
Yeah.
So and he shot a live round into the air. So eventually that bullet is going to have to come down because of gravity.
And
So
let me jump in here too, because I don't know what you've seen, because like I said, I was doing research on the way back, but
mm,
I actually found somebody on YouTube, who actually, because of course for obviously, criminal investigation purposes, a lot of the videos have been stricken down or just straight going against YouTube,
yeah,
terms of service, whatever. But I actually found somebody got a hold of the footage that Hassel was recording, and the angle at which he shot the gun, it was in the air, but it wasn't like
yeah,
straight up.
yeah. It
It
was more
was
like
like
that. It was like
out.
that.
So it was really like, it was dumb on his part. Like, he should have never
Yeah, it's not
he should
like
have
he
never
went.
fired any kind of shot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
He
like he
didn't
went
he
like
didn't shoot
this.
straight up. It was more like that.
Yeah,
It was like angled. So,
yeah, and like I was
I
saying,
mean,
eventually, I mean, regardless, the bullet's gonna come down,
yeah.
but it's being projected outwards, and so it's maintaining that velocity as it goes. So
Yeah.
I mean, just is
Physics.
dangerous all around. So there, you run that risk or that concern of somebody getting hit, right? Like somebody could potentially get hit or killed or injured even. So that's where they're getting Boogie. That like cuz so the
And
thing
that's understandable. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that makes sense. I mean, he's got a granted, he was put in a very, like, unusual predicament. Well, I don't want to say unusual because I mean it does happen, but a very outstanding circumstance. But I don't know. cooler heads should have prevailed, and he just never should have fired the warning shot.
I agree.
So
Here's my
I mean,
thing. I was always
there does
taught.
need to be some kind of like punishment, something, just because it was an unlawful use of a firearm.
Yeah.
So
And I've always been taught, like, if you're gonna fire on somebody for defense, you need to do what you got to do. Don't hurt them, and don't be in a neighborhood and just shoot into the air. Like, if you're gonna do it, if you're going for the self-defense kind of thing, the argument there with self-defense. I'm not condoning killing somebody by any means. I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to protect yourself, protect yourself. If you're not, the weapon should have never came out. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
it should have just been used as a deterrent, not actually been fired.
Yes, correct.
Unless he was legitimately going to fire upon him for his safety.
Correct, exactly.
Exactly, exactly. I was always taught, because of course I own a firearm, and I've always been taught, you do not pull that trigger unless you mean to pull that trigger,
unless you have to.
Unless you have intent behind it.
So the thing about it, so this is where I have very mixed feelings about the situation. So here we are a year later. The district attorney finally is like getting around to it, and they're like, all right, cool, we're putting this warrant out because you put these people in danger. I think they're getting them for like aggravated assault, which I don't even think that should be the charge. I
feel like it should be unlawful discharge of a firearm, if anything.
Yeah.
Not really aggravated assault.
And maybe that's an issue with, I think he's in Arkansas. Yeah, Washington County, Arkansas is where the warrant was based out of. So maybe there's a law there in Arkansas. I'm not a lawyer, so I mean, maybe,
Yeah, by any means. We are not lawyers. Don't listen to us for any legal advice.
Yeah. So just for sheer observation, I mean, I feel like it, it's mishandling of a firearm. So maybe he should get slapped with, like, nobody was hurt or injured. So it's like, he should, in my opinion, like, that should be a major fine.
Yeah.
And the inability to, maybe purchase a firearm for a certain amount of time or something. Because they do that with, what class felon is that? It's like a certain amount of years. It's like 10 years or something, and then you can apply. I was talking to somebody about that one day that turned out they had a felony, and they were like, yeah, this year I'm up for applying to be able to get a weapon. And I'm like, okay, well, that's that. Okay, I didn't know you could do that. I thought once you got that label, you were done. You couldn't buy firearms anymore. But
yeah, I feel like aggravated assault is a bit of an overstep, because I feel like there was no assault done towards hassle. It was more just a deterrent that was handled the wrong way.
Yeah, I agree.
Is how I feel.
Now, with that being said, how do you feel about the fact that there's no repercussions at all for this other dude?
I think it's absolute horseshit. Now, are they not still investigating it? I thought it was still under investigation.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's going on right now.
It's just nothing's been said about him.
Yeah. Absolutely,
because I mean, especially with this day and age, in this digital era, like, it's one thing to harass somebody behind a keyboard, because there's always the argument, you can just walk away from the computer. This man drove across several states, not just like several states, to go and absolutely harass this, and it's not just any regular individual. Boogie said multiple times in the Keemstar interview, like, he's got PTSD, he has a severe anxiety disorder. So you are literally, like, harassing a mentally unstable person, and then you're surprised when that person pulls a gun on you. That's what I don't understand. Like, it's insane. The dude's psychotic. I'm sorry, but he is a genuine sociopath.
Well,
like,
yeah, he's a sociopath, and he harasses people. That's what he does. And And I just went to Boogie's Twitter, and this was as of May 17th. People are offering to help him, with legal expenses and stuff. And he's like, don't worry about it. Focus on watching my videos and supporting me that way. And then he said, somebody said update on legal stuff. He said, here's all I can say. I turned myself in and got booked, bailed out immediately. We plan to plead not guilty and begin trial process. Justice is slow, so expect it to take about a year before we know anything. So, I mean, it's like, this is something that's going to take a long time. This is,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the bad thing about, America's judicial system.
and I
It's
mean,
fucking not fast.
well, that's my thing. I don't even understand why this would take a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to me. And, you got a guy here that's obviously trying to do the right thing. He turned himself in. He's trying to move forwards with it. And then you've got this other guy. If you scroll down
Frank
his,
Hassel, he's still trying to fuck with him. Like,
he's still trying to harass him.
His most recent shit is like he posted his fucking mugshot, like all kinds of bullshit, dude. Like it's fucking awful. It really is.
Yeah, there's somebody making merch.
And I respect Boogie because, like you said, he went about it the right way. He, there was a warrant put out for his arrest. He went and owned up to it, turned himself in. I respect him for doing that and actually handling it the right way. But this Frank Hassel guy.
Yeah, did you see his petition?
Yeah, I saw
yeah. He
that.
made
This
a petition saying that we need to implement the death penalty on him.
Yeah, he literally started a petition, give Boogie the death penalty.
Yeah, it's
they took it down. Did you see that?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, change.org.
Oh, if I actually click the link, okay, they did take it down. It's still on his Twitter though.
Yeah, because he posted I think it's like in that thread. He posted like a screenshot. Basically, they said that it violates their guidelines because you're literally asking people to sign a petition to kill a man, so it violates their guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
So they took it down.
Yeah, I mean, and that to me that's I don't know, man. There's just there's some wacko people out there, but this is just
I'll never and that is my biggest. Like, I was thinking about this on the car ride home. That is my biggest problem with this digital era that we live in now. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing because we can do stuff like this where we can sit here and shoot the shit while we're miles and miles away from each other. But at the same time, it gives people this sense like, I really think this Frank Hassel guy, as crazy as he is, I think he's fucking invincible. Like, what would have gone through his mind if Boogie hadn't decided to point that gun in the air and he just opened the door and blasted on that man? Like, what did he think was going to happen?
I don't know.
In anybody's right mind, any sane person, okay, I know this person's mentally unstable, and they have threatened if I go to their house, they will shoot me. I'm going to go knock on his fucking door and call him a fat pussy. What?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. What a great idea.
Kidding me?
Yeah, what a great idea.
It's fucking wild, dude. Like, and that's my problem. These people will sit behind the keyboards and I'm gonna troll. I'm an internet edgelord, and they think they're invincible when they meet somebody in person until they step to the wrong motherfucker, and they learn they're not.
I was gonna say, man, I think we were very close to witnessing on recording, like,
I really do. Like,
the first murder of like a YouTuber. Like, I mean, there's been a lot of YouTubers that have been turned out to be killers and stuff like that, and murdered by like creeper fans and stuff. But there's a lot of, I don't know, it's crazy. I don't even know how to describe it.
Too, like, of course, I don't know these people personally, so take everything with a grain of salt that I'm saying.
Yeah, they might be the best people in the world. Might be the best people in the world.
In the Keemstar interview, of course, Boogie is saying, like, before all this bullshit happened, he had no idea who Frank Hassel even was. He's like, dude, you're just some random guy who just started harassing me, out of nowhere on Twitter because you think I got your channel shut down. And again, that's his side of the story. I don't know if that's true. I don't know these people personally. Just take it with a grain of salt. But it's just the narcissistic complex that this Frank Castle guy has is just insane.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting, but yeah, so this whole thing and how crazy it has been, like, this is why last week's episode did not air, because I recorded this episode actually last Wednesday after my stream. I think it was after my stream, I'm pretty sure. And I recorded it and I was like, all right, cool. Boom, got it. Got all the audio, all the video, everything, had it edited, was gonna like post it to YouTube and Spotify and all that the next day. And when I woke up, Boogie had turned himself in, like with his warrant. So I was like, I don't want to talk about this yet. I want to like give it a week, see what happens, see if anything interesting occurs with the situation. And I mean, it's kind of played out to be about kind of what I was expecting, just based off of like Twitter stuff that he's like shared. I mean, obviously, like, he's not going to come out and be like, oh yeah, today I talked to my lawyer about this. And I, you know, like,
Yeah.
you're not going to share that kind of stuff. Like, the lawyer is going to be like, shut the fuck up. Don't say anything at all about anything. If anybody asks, only basically say what everybody already knows.
Just
right?
spout
Like,
off some bullshit, which he's fucking good at. So
yeah.
I mean, just look at his fucking Twitter. Like,
So, and then this whole thing, like I said, the Frank thing, who knows, man? Like, there's no telling if he's being investigated or not. I'm sure that he is.
He needs to be. Like, God bless.
But I don't know. It's a really interesting situation. I like that kind of stuff because you never really know until you got to just kind of watch it unfold, and it's kind of crazy to sit here and watch happen, and it's an interesting thing. So I just thought that was an interesting topic that we could bring up, though. And there's been a lot of good input in the live stream chat. I have been reading you guys' input, by the way. Don't think I'm ignoring y'all. We're just not directly interacting a lot, just because this is also going on Spotify and stuff. So, but there's some good input and opinions. Some are really good. So in that regards, but yeah. So anyways,
too, because like these are just people. I mean, they're just people like me and you. Like, granted, they're successful in what they do, but at the end of the day, like, they're not like celebrities, if you will. You know, like,
oh yeah,
they're normal everyday people. And
well, yeah, I mean, we've seen that. We've seen that a lot this year with creators. I mean, we could do a whole 2-hour discussion about all the creators in the last year that have been getting like banned or like deplatformed for like shitty things. Because like you said, at the end, at the end of the day, they're human beings and they do stupid things, right? Like, everybody does stupid things. We make mistakes. And I think one of the biggest flaws of humans when it comes to like modern day entertainment and stuff, like with YouTube and Twitch and things like that, like we find creators who are like way up on the viewership scale, the subscriber count, or the Twitch viewers, or the whatever, and we elevate them in our minds on this pedestal as if they're just the most amazing people in the world. And then they do something stupid like humans do, and then everybody acts so surprised and shocked. I mean, honestly, there's things that occur and happen that, like, there's the whole like EDP 414 or whatever his name is, like, situation. He just got like perma banned off every single platform for like being a potential pedophile and stuff. And I mean,
holy shit.
Oh yeah, and all, like, I
don't follow this stuff.
And then the dude's trying to act like nothing happened. He was on his Facebook page and he was like, all right, well, I'm making a website and you guys can watch me over here on my website. And I'm just like, who the fuck is gonna send you their money now? You admitted in like you got busted, which that's a whole other thing with like for another day. But he got busted by these like shitty like Chris Hansen wannabe fuckers. And the reason why I say that away is they botched the entire fucking sting, so they can't even use the shit in the court of law. So they can't even like the guy is completely avoiding jail time, even though he admitted on camera recording that everything that they were accusing him of was true. But so YouTube and Twitch and Facebook, all of them, they deleted his account. He's banned permanently. Like, but what's crazy is, you know, we put all these people on a pedestal and then these things happen and people act so shocked and surprised. And it's like, at the end of the day, people are people and they do dumb shit or they make mistakes, like this Boogie situation. I mean, I think at the end of the day, like Boogie made a mistake of pulling the trigger, even though I think at the end of the day, he was defending himself and his property and preventing somebody from trespassing. But at the end of the day, he made a mistake. He pulled the trigger, and now unfortunately, he's gonna pay the price. So, so it's just,
and it's like, you know, I think I saw somebody in the chat earlier say, oh yeah, it was actually my wife. Go figure. Not only was he protecting himself, because of course he was making Frank Castle was making these threats towards Boogie, but you know, he has a roommate, like, and who knows how unhinged this fucking Frank Castle guy is. Who knows what, like, not only protecting himself, but he protected his roommate, you know, others that live with him. Now listen,
unfortunately the roommate was brought into it.
Violence.
Unfortunately
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it to tie into what you're saying. Unfortunately, the roommate's been brought into it though, because the weapon that was used was actually the roommate's.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't condone any kind of violence, but as I previously stated, I own a firearm for recreational use, but it will also be used to protect me in my home. Like, that's just bottom line. The only warning shot you're gonna get is when I open my door. That's the warning you got. Once that door opens, you got about 5 seconds to haul ass.
I love it though. I love that. The warning shot is when the door swings open, and then you're fucked.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it's very interesting. I'm curious to see how it unfolds. Ein said he's gonna put you on a pedestal. I like that. But you know, I do believe I don't believe that everybody that progresses into success with their content and stuff are shitty people or they're narcissists. I think there are some very genuine.
There are very good people out there.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think
didn't let it affect them.
Yeah. And I think though the failure is that so many people look at creators, and there's a guy that I respect, and he will probably never ever see this, but if he ever does, I will say this. There is a creator, a more of a commentary guy that I like and I respect, and I appreciate his input on things, and that is Tipster. If you guys have never watched Tipster, you guys should definitely watch his streams and his YouTube videos and stuff. The dude, even if it's not what you want to hear, if it is based off factual evidence, that dude will say it. And when it comes to creators, people like that will say things even if it's completely against what they want to say. You can tell it pains them to like have to admit it, and they still speak the facts, the truth. You got to respect that, even if it's something you disagree with. And that's what I like about him. There's a whole dark side Phil thing going on, and he's reporting on it, and all the like, he calls them dark side Phil DSP detractors is what he calls them, because they want to see Phil fail so bad. They hate him, which he is a piece of shit human being, but he just recently got fucked over out of his Twitch partnership, and turns out it was for a complete bullshit reason. And he was on a stream today and like actually defending Phil. He's like, I can't even fucking believe I'm having to do this, but I'm defending Dark Side Phil, even though I fucking hate this guy. And You got to respect that in a creator. There's not many people like that. They will usually pivot their opinions based on their viewership's opinions, and that's a hard thing to find with a creator. And that's the thing. When you guys watch me on Twitch and stuff, like, I try to be unbiased as possible whenever we're talking about my opinion on games and stuff like that. I really try to be as neutral as I possibly can and honest about specific things.
Yeah.
But in other news and other fun facts, and this is probably gonna maybe bring some hate monger, but that's okay, since we're talking about
what we here for,
saying
baby.
what people don't necessarily want to hear. Amaranth and hot tub stream meta is being impacted by Twitch. And I know my boy Chris has got some input because he shared some of his thoughts today when we were on the phone. Do you want to start it, or do I want to start it?
Well, I mean, I guess I can kick it off.
Okay,
So
go
if you don't know, Amaranth is very well known for she did she start the hot tub meta, or she was just very,
I don't know if
like,
she is the original hot tub meta streamer, but she is probably the most
partook
popular
in it.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the most viewership when she does it.
So, of course, even before that meta was the thing, I mean, how many times has she gotten a slap on the wrist for accidentally flashing some nipple? I know there was one instance where her whole, lady parts was just like,
Are you thinking
bam.
Wait, what was that her? Or are you thinking of
Yeah, that was her. Well, it was also can't think of her fucking name. She had one too.
Yeah.
But
the one that threw the cat, right? That's who you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, that's not Amaranth.
No, that's not Amaranth.
Yeah, that's not Amaranth. Yes.
But
to everybody
Amaranth
listening, there's a
happen too.
lady in here, my lady, and she she cut in and was like, "That is her." No, it's not.
No, that wasn't. Amaranth isn't the one that threw her cat. But Amaranth straight had her whole lady bit.
Oh yeah, she was wearing like a skirt or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she adjusted herself in the
yeah.
seat.
So, which, whatever. She's known for. Everybody knows why they go to that channel. Let's just be honest.
Why do they go to that channel? It's for the great gameplay and commentary, right?
Sure.
And the amazing personalities that you get to see, right?
2 of them. Exactly 2 of them. But anyways, so of course she's getting demonetized due to the hot tub stream.
Well, she's getting demonetized, let's be specific, in the ad revenue category.
Yeah, that's
her ad revenue.
So, which, kind of like what we talked about earlier. I'm not against hot tub streams at all. I'm not, if you want to do that, I don't want anybody telling me what to do on my channel and how to run my channel, so I'm not going to do that to other people.
Yeah.
However, the kind of like how I explained it to you earlier, she's got to look at it as like from a business standpoint, because at the end of the day, yes, we create content. We have that freedom, as long as it's within guidelines on, from the Twitch TOS, we have that freedom to create different kinds of content, so on and so forth. However, Twitch at the end of the day is a business. It's a business ran by Amazon, by all businesses, so it is a business. So they've got to understand that they don't have to run ads on something that they don't believe that will land them in hot water for ads on.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
So, for instance, they're not going to put like an ad that's directed for children on a half-naked lady sitting in a hot tub, because that advertiser is not going to want that name attached to their name. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, when all is said and done, it's a business standpoint. You can't really be mad that they're demonetizing you for basically putting softcore porn on their website.
And here's the thing. this is like one of those statements that's it's a hot take, so it might
Hot take.
upset
A hot tub
somebody,
take.
and it's not meant to upset or offend anybody, but I think it's one of those statements that it's a factual statement and it just needs to be said.
Exactly.
Um,
There's
I think
no feelings attached to it.
yeah, I think hot tub streams to some capacity where where only 20% of your body is covered, as in your boobs and your everything else
The
down
parts that are
below,
supposed to
and
be
nothing else is covered. I think it's softcore porn if it's delivered that way. If it's delivered in the sense of you're sitting in a tub, you're sitting on an inflatable hot dog, and you're like sliding up and down on it when people give you money, and bending over where people can see down in your massive cleavage, where you know there's a possibility the titty might pop out.
I want to see your
And it's softcore porn. And I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't offend me. I don't personally have a problem with if women want to do hot tub streams like Chris said. I think hot tub streams are perfectly fine. I think they have a time and a place for in terms of the creator if they want to make that. I just don't believe the platform should be Twitch.
Exactly.
The reason why. Here's a couple things. Here's a couple reasons why that I feel that way. One, I feel that way because there are, whether you like it or not, as a viewer or whatever, there are a lot of kids on Twitch as viewers. Regardless of what anybody says, like, oh, why are you letting your kids get on a stream like with adults? You know, like, you know, the arguments that people make. Why are you letting your kids be on Twitch? It's not a place for kids. If you read the Twitch terms of service, you only have to be 13 years old to create an account. Unless they've changed that in like the last couple days, like, or months or whatever, like you only have to be 13. So if your only minimum requirement is to be 13, then clearly it's a site designed for teenagers, 13 and up. It's not an adult website. An adult website would be 18 plus requirement.
Exactly.
And now, do I think that they should create categories that are 18 plus only? Sure. And be the hot tub stream?
By all means.
Yeah. And then if a kid makes a fake account and lies about their age, well, people do that all the time already when they buy iPhones and stuff and Androids. When they create their Gmail, so their mom and dad doesn't have to approve stuff.
13 and just discovering porn, you know, we all made fake accounts.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna, like, kids are gonna be kids. They're gonna lie about their age, but at the end of the day, like, if Twitch doesn't want to lose their ad partners and their sponsor partners, they have to, like Chris said, they have to put a control on what type of content people are creating. And here's the thing, I am all in support of women empowerment and women having power over their body, and if they want to
absolutely,
and if they want to profit off of perverts, like, and take advantage of them and stuff or whatever, you know, and market themselves that way, I don't have a problem with that. Because here's the thing, like, I am not a streamer that believes I'm losing viewership because of hot tub streams. I don't believe that at all. Those people are not there to watch me. They're there to watch big titty goth chicks sit in hot tubs. Like, that's what they're there for. They don't care at all about Redbeard. They don't care at all about Call of Duty or
Warzone dubs. They're not
yeah, they're not there for Call of Duty. They're not there for Dark Souls. They're not there for that. They're there for that streamer. So here's my opinion. If those women want to do that, they should market themselves via OnlyFans, Pornhub. Then you would know all of your audience is at least 18 years old, or they stole their mom's credit card and they're lying about their age. But you can't legally get in trouble or lose your payment, your payout, because somebody doesn't like that you're sitting on an inflatable hot dog and reports you because they walked in and their son was, you know, in the other room jacking off to your stream because they haven't figured out how to just watch free porn
But also in the chat, of course, Kayla brought up a valid point about, you know, this needs to apply for all genders, and it does. It absolutely should.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I know, like, a lot of the male streamers have been making kind of parody hot tub streams, and
Mhm.
I the same thing should be held, like, they should be held accountable the same way,
Oh, I agree.
as them. It should absolutely go both ways.
Oh, I completely
Um,
agree. There's definitely biases towards genders both ways with specific things. I 100% agree. I mean, it's okay for me to sit on my stream with my shirt off, but it's not okay for Kayla.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not stupid. I understand there are bullshit biases both ways. But here's the thing. This is the topic we're talking about right now. But we can at some point talk about the biases both ways where one gender can do something and the other one cannot. It is bullshit. I'm a firm believer that if you don't want women sitting on stream with their shirt off, dudes shouldn't be either. I know that's
exactly.
going to sound crazy and like out there and stuff, but I mean, it should be equal both ways when it comes to stuff like that. I fully truly believe that and think that
But
and
back
feel
to
that way.
back to what you said too. Like, I'm all for make the content that you want to make. Like, so long as it's not harming you or anybody else.
Yeah.
Pop off, kid. Like, just fucking do your shit. It's just, I feel like, kind of like, what we both said, there needs to be, if that is the case, it needs to be in the right environment with sensitive material like that. It needs to be in the right environment and, projected to the right people.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if Twitch continues with if they don't make it to where they put some kind of implement into control where you have to be like 18 or older to be on
Mhm.
Twitch, then I mean, again, from a business standpoint, I don't think that there's like anything wrong with them
Mhm.
because they don't have to put ads on anything. They feel it's going to land them in hot water with, the advertisers, the people who are paying them money. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to piss off my boss because he signs my paychecks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
And
like, at the end of the day,
something that happened today that really kind of bothered me in correlation to this is there was a streamer that I follow, and I don't want to say it bothered me. It just stood out to me. So it was literally the same. No, it was the day after this happened, right? So today, this person added Twitch and complained because there were vibrator and condom ads being ran on their stream. Like, one of their viewers told them that. And I'm like, I don't understand the issue. Like, as a woman, you have other female streamers that you support that do hot tub streams and stuff. Why wouldn't you want advertisers in that same category of like condoms and stuff to be promoting? Like, if the kids are going to be there jerking it to, whoever in a hot tub, wouldn't you want them to
yeah,
at least gain some information and know where they can buy Trojan condoms, or whatever? I think it's weird that they're running
yeah,
condom
that's
ads, but I'm just saying, like, I don't understand. You have sexual themed content, and then you're like offended that there's sexual themed advertisements being ran.
yeah. They run condom ads on TV all the time.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
but yeah,
nothing.
and the
Like,
argument though was like, yeah, I mean, these people are seeing these ads and they have kids and stuff, and I'm like, what are you upset about? There's freaking girls sitting in hot tubs on the front page of Twitch. Like, why are you upset and offended? Like, I don't that's the thing with Twitch. Like, the people that run it and like some of the people that are on it, they don't make sense. Like, they're okay with it this way, but if it's like this way, it's offensive. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that. It's like, if you're gonna let women do hot tub streams, like, then you should know where you can buy condoms at, or that they're available, or whatever, or vibrators, or butt plugs, whatever the hell they want to run. But
it's a wacky world
yeah,
we live in these days.
it's
It
so
really is.
it's so interesting to me. So I don't know. I don't know how everybody else feels. I'm an observer. I'm an observer. And I see that stuff, and I sit back and I'm like, man, this is fucking weird that you're upset about this. But then, like, you're okay. Like,
The world we live in nowadays.
yeah, I mean, I want to, for those that don't know, I have several friends that does OnlyFans and stuff, and I support them. I promote them. I talk about them. I've had a few on my podcast in the past on YouTube. I mean, I support the women that want to explore that and have control of their bodies and stuff. But it's like there is a time and a place, and I just don't believe Twitch is the place. That's my opinion on it. Now, as far as how now in Amaranth's defense, though, what I will say, I do think this is kind of the build-up that everybody was probably like, well, how does Dan feel about how Twitch overall handled it? I think they handled it like shit.
I do agree with that. Yeah. We got so off the beaten path there. I forgot about that part. Yeah.
No, yeah,
it was handled very.
Yeah, they didn't even like send her an email or anything. They just deactivated her monetization on ad revenue without telling her.
For me talking about it from a business standpoint, on the same side of that coin, I feel like it was handled very unprofessionally from a business standpoint as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is somebody that they're your partner. You're in a contract with them. They have a check mark by their name. The only thing that may save them, if she wanted to try to like do something legal or something, which I doubt she would want to, because she's still a Twitch partner. You know what I'm saying? She can still get subs and bits. And I mean, if you watch her streams ever, she's got like 40,000 people at a time. You know, she's making fucking bank. So, I mean, there's not really a concern there, I don't think. But what I will say is they could have at least sent her an email and said, hey, we just want to inform you that if you continue to make this kind of content, when you do this type of content, we will have to remove ad revenue from your channel because it's not the type of content we're wanting to attach an ad.
Yeah.
You know, one of our sponsor partners too.
Like giving her a choice, like,
or like give us the option, like us as streamers, if we want to do something that's more 18 plus, give us the option to disable ad revenue.
Yeah.
And then if it's more, and then if it's more universally friendly to anybody, re-enable it.
Yeah.
You know, like YouTube kind of does that, you know, with like, is this content for kids or no? You know, and if you say yes, it disables monetization. If you say no, and it's an adult-based thing, and you're not swearing every other word, and you're eligible for ad revenue, like you're gonna be fine. So it's interesting. Like I said, I mean, but I also look at it from a real world standpoint because Twitch is becoming more of a viable job for people. It's like I don't walk into my job, you know, at my day job, for those that know. Cool. If not, you don't know. But I work in sales. If I just walked up to the closest person that's in the store and said, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit, and I turned around and walked off and left them standing there, like, I'm probably going to get fired.
You can't go to work in a bikini.
Yeah, I mean, if I showed up, you know, my fat ass in a bikini, and I said, "Oh well, I'm just being creative in how I approach my sales tactics," like it doesn't matter how many phones or whatever I sell or how whatever it is I'm selling. It doesn't matter how much I make the company. They're probably gonna fire me because some poor mom, and her kids are in the corner like, "Holy shit, this fat guy walked in a bikini today."
You walk in there in that bikini, I'm buying every fucking phone in that store. I'm just saying.
To answer a question, so in the chat, Kayla said label it 18 plus. You can label it 18 plus. Actually, if you look my stats up on a lot of stream sites, it will actually say, is this a mature stream? It says yes, because I've enabled it as an 18 plus. But I think that she's Ariel. I think she's also implying that that person should label it as an 18 plus stream. So, but anyways, it's crazy, it's wild, and you know, I don't think there's really a wrong answer in the matter. I just think that there's a time and a place for that kind of content. I don't think Twitch is the place, or YouTube, or whatever. I think if you want to do hot tub streams, that's cool. But do it on OnlyFans. Do it on Pornhub. There's no shame in streaming on Pornhub if like that's your market.
And and that's another thing that we mentioned earlier too. Like it really makes me wonder if they're only doing that because, streaming on those websites, you get labeled as a sex worker. And if they're just trying to avoid that, the negative
Like the
connotations
stigma.
that
Yeah.
society has with that term of being a sex worker, like, you know,
I really think though, like
do
if
you, kid, pop off. Like, if you just want to show some titties, go for it.
well, I
But
mean that's the
it's
thing.
just,
Just
do
because
it in the right place.
you stream it on Pornhub doesn't mean you got to even get naked. Like I don't,
Exactly.
like, but I like I said earlier, I just think people are afraid of the labels that could be attached to their name with that, and
It's
I think that
the stigma of society.
yeah, I think people are afraid of that, and I could be totally wrong. Maybe they're not afraid of that. Maybe they already do it. I don't know. I'm not on Pornhub looking up amaranth. If I'm gonna get on Pornhub, I'm gonna look up fully undressed women. I don't settle for bikinis if I'm trying to.
I'm gonna get my free worth.
Yeah, like if it's free, it's for me. Like that's always been my motto when it comes to porn. But that's just me though. That's just me. Some men like supporting women directly and paying. I feel like I'm still supporting them with ad revenue. So I mean, either way, I'm supporting. So, oh man, that makes me sound so much worse than I actually am. I think I'm a pretty good guy, but I gotta support them. Gotta support the ladies out there.
That's
oh
right.
man, guys, Kayla, I just looked over her. She's just shaking her head. She's just shaking her head. All right, man. Well, we're rolling up on just over an hour. I'm really excited with this episode. I thought it was a pretty good one.
Hell yeah.
You got any more input on that, Chris, on any of those topics we talked about?
Go play Resident Evil Village. It's so good.
Oh, okay. Speaking of porn, Lady D.
Yeah. Speaking of, Big Mommy Milker.
Man, I got a case of Candice. Oh man, dude, I actually was like doing some research on Resident Evil 8, and last little fun fact thing before we end the show tonight, but somebody's already developed and made and distributed a nude mod for Resident Evil 8.
I saw that.
Nice. So yeah, if you want to see D's, you can go download the nude mod
Big
for
Mommy Milkers.
the Mommy Milkers on Mommy Milker Wednesday. But all right, man.
I shouldn't be ashamed that I just want her to step on me. Okay?
Yeah, man, she's hot, dude. Even though she's like 10 foot tall, she's pretty hot.
That's why I want her to step on me.
Hell yeah, man. Before we end this show, though, I do want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Chris, thank you so very much for coming on. I know it was super short notice, but I had a great time. Had a lot of fun. This episode, like I said, it's going to air on Spotify. For those of you that were here tonight, you kind of got a first dibs early access because the episode probably will not launch until Friday sometime. Because I'm going to have to rip the audio from this and then reformat it into where it'll work for Spotify and Anchor and stuff like that. So if you guys were here, you guys got first dibs on this episode. So congratulations. And I do want to say after the stream here, we will be relaunching a stream in give me about 15 minutes. We're going to start another stream. I'm going to do an AMA for my Patreon supporters. So if you guys have Patreon and support me over there already, cool. You guys come with your questions. I'm going to play, I think, some Dark Souls 3. If you're not a Patreon supporter and you want to become one, here is the link here for those of you listening on listening in the audio format. It's patreon.com/redbeertv. Starts at $5 per month, but that kind of helps fund the recording sessions and the editing of future YouTube videos and the podcast as a whole. So this is totally separate from like my Twitch income and stuff like that. So if you guys want to support that, there's a link in chat. It's patreon.com/redbeertv. Otherwise, you listening, you being here is support enough. So thank you very much. And I'm going to let my man Chris give himself one last shout out before we call it a night.
Yeah, my name is KristofasaurusRex. Go follow me on mostly Twitter is what I post on. I've got an Instagram and all that other fun stuff, but that's just kind of left in the dust, honestly. Follow me on Twitter there. It should just be just Kristofasaurus, no Rex. On Twitch, add the Rex. And I typically stream live on there. If you just want to go to my Twitch, it also has a link to all my socials there as well, if you want to do that, if that'd be easier. And I eat ass.
Oh my God, this man eats ass. All right, before we go, I do want to give a big shout out to everybody that is currently a Patreon supporter and just basically plug you guys. I'm sorry my face is probably like washed right now, but the Patreon page, even though I have my browser in dark mode, it is just blinding white light on Patreon's website. Like, holy shit, it's so bright. But all right, so I want to start with my $25 supporters, Kibbles and Andrew Key. Thank you guys very much for your $25 support. You guys have a lot of good stuff coming your way as that VIP role. Our $10 supporters are Det, Trementum, Jackie Mansfield, Charlene Reinhardt, and Kayla Turner, and Zach is back. Thank you guys so much for your continued support over there for a couple of months now. So, all right, guys. Love you guys. We're going to call it a rest of the night. Over here's the camera. I got to face this way. I forgot I'm using this one. All right. You guys here on YouTube, we'll be back live in about 15 minutes and be doing our Q&A or AMA, whatever you want to call it. Everybody on Spotify, Anchor, Pocket Cast, thank you guys for listening so much. We'll see you on the next episode of this absolute shit show. And remember, don't get shit on.
Kisses.